Hi everyone, it's Casey Williams. I have to be honest and say that I really like driving BMW coupes, but I don't always like looking at them. And I'm really thinking about the most recent 6 Series. You know, with this bang up butt, fat fenders, and weird angles, and just way too much going on. Just not really a pretty car. And that's been true of some other recent BMW coupes as well. But it hasn't always been that way. Think back to the Paul Bracq design 6 Series back in the 1980s. That was really a nice looking car. And the car we have today, I think is the most beautiful BMW coupe I've ever seen. It's the 840i. Let's go have a look at it. Well, the forms of this car are elegant enough that it really could be a Mercedes or an Audi, but there's enough BMW attitude to let you know it's not. And it really starts with the front. You absolutely can recognize the twin kidney grille, of course the emblem, the little ground effects. This has the M Sport package on it. It also has a Shadowline trim, so it's got some of the blacked out trim on it. But I really like the chrome grille. It looks really nice and totally appropriate for a high-end coupe. Quad headlamps, LEDs of course. Come on the side, got the M Sport 20-inch wheels. See some of the blacked out trim. I really love the stance of this car. It just sits down low, nice thick fenders. You know, from some angles it almost looks Mercedes S-Class, but it just really works on this car. You know it's a BMW, but it just, there's something else to it. Hofmeister kink of course back here, very nice. I love the roof line, slants down almost a full fastback, like this one that comes into the trunk lid. Nice wide rear end, like the smoke gray lenses, a little more aggressive bumpers. Again, you know it's a BMW, but there's just something else to it that just says I'm just more expensive, a little more classy, and just a little more enjoyable to be in. If you like the exterior, you're really going to like the interior. To me, it's probably one of the most beautiful BMW interiors of recent memory, and it's also one of the most intuitive to use. I've not always been a fan of iDrive with the joy wheel controller here that controls the screen, but this one's a little more intuitive, a little easier to use. You can actually use the touchscreen here too. It's touch sensitive, so you don't have to just use the joy wheel. That works out really well. Of course, the car has navigation, Harman Kardon audio system. This car does not have a sunroof, but that's alright. Didn't really need it. I like the aluminum trim, and I like this two-tone contrasting color effect with the brown seats and the gray stitching and the gray on the dash. Everything just feels really exquisite, very expensive, and the aluminum finishes here. I like all this very, very much. Behind the cover, wireless phone charging, USB port. Here in the center console, the off button for the auto stop start. I always press that button because it drives me nuts. Engine starter. These are the controls for the drive modes. You got Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, and Adaptive. So you can change the configuration of the car, make the suspension a little stiffer, make the steering a little firmer. All that works out really well as well. Heads-up display, flat screen instruments, nice thick leather-wrapped M steering wheel, and some other nice conveniences in this car. You get heated and ventilated seats, heated armrests. Again, kind of take it from some of the Mercedes features, but really cozy in the wintertime. Heated steering wheel, like that a lot. And a lot of safety gear. Forward collision alert system, you've got the auto cruise control, lane keep assist, rear cross path detection, blind spot warning, and it's got the lane centering system. So you're on the interstate, you set the adaptive cruise and kind of relax a little bit, and then the car will keep itself centered in the lanes even around corners. You have to keep your hands on the steering wheel, it'll get really grumpy if you don't, but you can just kind of sit here and just kind of very lightly keep your hand on the wheel and just relax as you're driving. And the car does most of everything else for you. But a really pleasant place to be for 2 passengers. I'd put kids only in the back, but for 2 people, really nice car to ride in. Well, the car feels that it's about the same size as a 5 Series sedan when you're driving it. But BMW claims it's actually built on the flexible carbon core architecture that underpins the 7 Series. So it's really based on a very large full-size car that's kind of shrunken down a little bit, at least feels like it's shrunken down. But I like the car a lot. You know, 4-liter engine, you know, when it's called an 840i, you would think there's a 4-liter engine. It's not a 4-liter engine. It's actually a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6. But it delivers 335 horsepower, which is plenty for a car this size. This is rear drive, it's not the all-wheel drive version of it. So that's plenty of power. 8-speed automatic transmission, got the paddle shifters too. And fuel economy. One of the advantages of having that Turbo 6 is fuel economy. 23 miles per gallon in the city, 30 miles per gallon on the highway. So you got a very large, you know, full-size luxury coupe, and still getting 30 miles per gallon on the highway. I think that's great. We mentioned it before, this has got the drive mode selector, so you can configure the steering to be firmer, the suspension to be stiffer. Right now it's in comfort mode. I'm around town, out on the interstate, and I did a 3-hour interstate drive a couple days ago, and the car was just really comfortable on the highway. But if you want to find that curvy 2-lane road, you can tighten the car right up, and it really handles well. Here's some other things that I really like about it. It has variable ratio steering, so it'll actually change how much input you have to give the car to steer at different speeds. And it has a rear steering system. It actually will change the degree to which your rear wheels steer just a little bit. And what you really notice is when you're parking the car, it feels like the back end's just coming around a little bit sharper. You can really park it easily. When you're driving the car and having some fun with it, it also handles a little bit better and a little more stability on the highway. So it gives you just a little extra play with the rear end of the car and changes the behavior quite a bit. But overall driving it, I just like it. I mean, it's really a 2-passenger car with a leather lined seat for a couple of kids in the back. But you can drive really long distances in the car, comfortable. I do like the new layout. Again, this is my favorite iDrive system I've ever used. Touchscreen's easy, and I'm somebody who likes a touchscreen, so I can flip through here, I can change the channels. It's also got the gesture recognition controls, so this is really cool. You can do this, volume turns up, volume turns down. You can change tracks, you can change radio stations just by doing that to it. So that's really cool. My daughter thought that was really cool and was playing with it the whole time we were on the road. But overall, the car's just a lot easier to drive. But again, I love that turbocharged inline 6, and I like the rear wheel steering too. Just very nice features on the car. I've had a mixed relationship with BMW coupes over the years. I've really liked some of them, thought they're very beautiful, very sporty, and others were just plain ugly. This one's just classically beautiful, but it's got enough of that BMW attitude to it to look really aggressive and look like it can just tear down the road and really enjoy driving on a 2-lane road on the weekend. I think they've really done a nice job with this car. And the fact that they've used a 7 Series architecture and just really made it a full-size luxury coupe and not kind of a mid-size car, I think is also really smart. On top of all of that, you got the turbocharged inline 6, you get 30 miles per gallon on the highway, you can configure the powertrain, drive mode selector. I think the iDrive's the best that they've had. All around, great car. So let's talk about price. Of course, being a high-end coupe, it is not going to be inexpensive. So base price is just under $88,000. This one has equipped $101,445. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. Till then, storm forward.